corporate on the show. Tech Wabag is in focus. The stock is up more than 15% in just the last 1 month. To discuss their business outlook and order book, we have with us Rajneesh Chopra, the Global Head Business Development of the company. Rajneesh, hi, welcome to the show. If you could start by giving us, some amount of details with regards to the payment terms for the company. What is your schedule of payment currently looking like for the company? And what are the margins that you would be targeting as well?
I'm really happy and delighted to share that, we have won the 400 MLD desalination plant from Chennai Metro Water Board, and it is funded by JICA. This is the largest desalination plant in entire Southeast Asia. And with this, Wabag has moved to a different league globally to the desalination business. As far as this particular order is concerned, the total value is 4,400 crores. And we will be executing this contract over a period of 42 months, which will be followed by 20 years of O&M. So it's not only that it's going to give us revenue initially, it is also going to give us annuity business for next 20 years. Apart from this, all I can say is that, it's a JICA funded, multilateral funded, and that's the reason we like these contracts, because we have a lot of payment security and the cash flows are always positive in these kind of contracts. We definitely look forward to, creating history as far as India is concerned and, moving into a different league in desalination business going forward.
Okay, it's indeed a very large order of 4,400 crores. So you will be moving up, and completely in a different league, as you said. But could you give us some indication about the payment cycle, back-ended, front-ended, and will it be margin dilutive given the EPS nature of it, EPC nature? All
I can share with you is that definitely the payment terms are good. We will be cash positive throughout this contract.
Okay. Any other large order in the pipeline, Rajneesh, that you can apprise us of, similar under one city, one operator? And what is the targeted order inflow for the next fiscal as well?
I think definitely we are also looking very optimistic going forward about new large contracts. But as you must be aware that recently we have won another contract, which is 800 crores. Design, build, operate a 200 million liters per day wastewater treatment plant, which will also be generating green energy for captive use. This is a contract in Bangladesh, which is funded by World Bank and AIIB. So both put together, we have already crossed around 5,200 crore worth of order intake. And during my last interaction with CNBC, I think I had mentioned very clearly that we are more than hopeful that we'll be closing 5,000 crore plus in this quarter. So as moving forward, I think you would have seen that in last 4 to 5 years, gradually our ticket size of the contracts is increasing. So both in India as well as overseas, I think going forward, you'll see that we will be making bids for larger projects. In fact, we have already made some large bids overseas and both in India also. And I think in next quarter, probably we will be, maybe once, the results are out, we'll be able to throw more light on those contract bids.
We'll talk more about where you've recently bid, but tell us about this Bangladesh order that you alluded to in terms of the execution, the revenue recognition, any timelines. And I think you said that the order inflows have crossed 5,200 crores so far. What is the total order book position, the number?
We have not closed, this particular quarter, so it's very difficult to hazard any numbers. But all I can share is that, with these two contracts, we were already 10,000 crore plus at end of Q3. So certain backlog will definitely be executed, but we will be closing this particular fiscal year in the highest ever order backlog in the history of Wabag. And the timelines, as I said, for this desalination contract, it's around 42 months. Similarly, we have another contract which will be 800 crores, the Bangladesh, which will all be executed over the next 24 to 30 months. So all put together, I think, given the nature of the business, all these EPC contracts, they will be on the outer side, maybe around 3 years will be the time to execute the entire EPC backlog.
Okay, what about operator and maintenance, that particular part of the order book? What is the pickup on that front?
EPC execution is concerned, the only thing where we found a little slowdown, and we mentioned it earlier also, we have a major contract in Russia. Because of the sanctions, there are certain material which was already ordered on some particular vendors, and since those countries are under sanctions, so there has been a bit of slowdown because now we are moving the same orders to different vendors where these sanctions are not applicable. Other than that, both on the overseas and domestic front, I think our execution is well on target. As far as O&M is concerned, I think our order book was around 3,400 crores.
Okay, that's on O&M. What about EPC? You had earlier said that engineering procurement will be the focus area. Does that continue? And what about margins? What's the outlook on margins from here on?
Whatever we are targeting, we are pretty sure that you would have seen that up till Q3, our focus has moved from top line to bottom line. And our margins have improved. We are going forward. We are quite hopeful that we'll be able to keep our margins intact. And given the new order book which we have recently shared with you, I think definitely there will be an appreciable growth in the top line revenue also. So I think in coming 2 to 3 years, given the very, very strong order backlog, which is more than 3x visibility, I think both top line and bottom line will grow. And since our focus has been on cash and margins, I think it will continue in spite of a growth of top line.
Okay, all right. So we're going to leave it on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and bringing us your perspective. So that's VA Tech Wabag. It's quite a bullish outlook, you'd have to say. They have around 4,400 crores of orders which will be executed in the next 2 odd years. And today they are in focus on account of bagging a huge order worth around 4,400 odd crores from the Chennai Metro Water. So as you can see, the stock is reacting to it, up around 5.5% odd.